And I left it there for 3 days. My hands were purple, and after 3 days I went and I drank it. Whoop, just wrong. I had jipper guts like you can't believe. And that was my first attempt at making alcohol. I don't know what it was. If it was actually alcohol, yeah. And then I landed up at a fine school. My parents tried to do the best for me. Didn't work. Not far from here, Bowdenville. And I found out that when I was a junior, my senior's cupboard it was a built-in cupboard, old building, and there was a ceiling inside the cupboard with a cornice around. And I worked out if I knocked that ceiling up, I actually could put it on the side, and then there was a chimney that took me into the roof. Nobody knew that I was there, and I used to brew all sorts of things there. Pineapple beer and the rest of it. And I think to keep me quiet and focused, they decided that they better make me a prefect. They didn't know what I'd done. And that was, so ever since then I've kind of been experimenting, dabbling in alcohol and beer. I specialized in drinking beer when I was at university, and that's why I never got my degree. And then when I turned 40, yeah, I'm older than 40, my older brother gave me this bucket, and I thought it was like one of those Christmas buckets that you buy for your staff on the farm. And it had Cooper's written on it, I don't know what it was. And I made this amazing beer, and when I gave it to my friends, they said, this is nice, but you know what? You're so proud of it, you must drink it yourself. And then the years carried on, and the same brother said to me, but you've got to try all grain brewing. And then I started being a home brewer, because if you're just mixing syrups, you're not a brewer.
True story.
And I started with an urn, still got it. I've still got the bastardized curtains that I'm in shit with my wife for making a bag. It still works. And
yes.
Yeah, hold my beer. It never ever starts good when you hear that story, but that's my story. I was in corporate, and I heard the same story earlier from Jason. I heard the same story from Mike, and this is my story. I was in corporate. I think I did it right. Afforded my kids a nice education, all that type of thing. I lived in a nice house, privileged and all the rest of it, but something wasn't there. I think Mike said it, that a little bit of your soul dies every day, and that's what I felt.
True story.
And after 26 years of being in the same job, it was a family business. I'm married to the mob, and I finally woke up and said, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this for the rest of my life. I'm going to die a boring person. Because before, my job was, people would say, you know, around the bar, and you had a few beers, and you meet somebody and say, hey, dude, what do you do for a living? I import air compressors. Yo, how's the weather been? Now, they ask me, I said, yeah, I'm involved in the chef school, and we've got a brewery. So, wow, tell me more. So I'm a bit more of a...
You're cool now.
I'm a cool guy. And, well, that's my story. So what happened was, I was searching for a change in my life, and through my brother-in-law, who was in the bank, he heard that there was this business for sale that had a brewery attached to it. And I've been talking to him, I want to have a brewery. And you guys know, you don't make money out of breweries, right?
No.
Probably hands if you made money out of your brewery. Everybody's got your hands up. And I came here to steal with my eyes and look at the brewery, and I walked down, and there's a little spot on the grass out there, and I've told my team about it. It's my decision spot. I walked in, and I looked around, and just something made sense to me that I could do this. Coming from a business where you import, dealing with machinery, technical equipment, PLCs and engineering and all that sort of thing, I knew everything about brewing, I knew everything about owning a restaurant, education, children, dealing with those things. I knew it all. And yeah, I said, I'm just going to go for this, and I'm going to make it happen. My thinking was, running a business is running a business. It can be anything. You can have a shoe shop, a bottle store, a brewery, a restaurant, a bank. The principles are exactly the same.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. I know enough. I've been running this business for 26 years. Let me do it. So that's how. I haven't even stuck to my notes here. That's how I landed up getting into it. But it was a case of, here, hold my beer. And normally when you hear that, you know that it's going to be a disaster. So we'll wait and see. I'm the one doing the talking here. I've been told that I'm the commie chef, but while I'm talking, I am the head chef. Over here is Chef Jade. Chef Jade is the principal of 1,000 Year Old Chef School. She's been here for ever and a day. Joined the school when she was 16 years old.
Wow.
Extreme talent. And I have to just share a couple of things about Chef Jade. And when you talk about a chef, you always say chef. It's like calling doctor. There's something attached to it. Doctor's practice. That's why you go to a doctor's practice, because I've always got to stay current.
Just can't get it right the first time.
That's right. They're always improving. So if you get sick again, you can go back and say, practice some more. But what I do know is that chefs have the same rationale, and they are forever researching. I know that when she leaves here, and it's a tough day, we go home tired. Other people's children are a nightmare, let me tell you that. They don't behave like your own. I know that she goes home and she researches, looks at trends, finds out new things, because this industry in food, very much like craft brewing, is changing.
Yep.
10 years ago, you knew about a New England IPA. It was brand new. Things have changed. The landscape is changing, and in food it's also changing. So you've got to keep on practicing. I know that she practices on a regular basis. This lady has won more competitions than what she's allowed to enter anymore. Oh. They've actually changed all the rules of the competition so that you can't enter. So now the only way that you can be involved in competitions is for to judge competitions, and there's a very strict protocol and system within chefing worldwide, and she is Class B judge. And that's another accolade that she's got. The important thing that we do here at the school is, just like you brewers, you use malted barley, hops, yeast, water. Sometimes you add in a few other things. I've heard vanilla and that sort of things. I turn my nose up buying vanilla extract at Woolies. Come on, guys. Make it yourself.
Trevor?
No.
Dion?
But it's amazing what we do at the school. Everything is from scratch. You will never find, with the exception of one ingredient, and I'll get to it now, you'll never find anything that's bought commercially and pre-prepared. All of our flavors here you get from raw, plain ingredients. And that's one of my messages that I want to give to you guys who've got your own restaurants and your tap rooms. Stay pure like you are within your own craft brewery as well. That's very important. The only ingredient that we buy in a bottle that's pre-prepared is soy sauce. Some people tell me that Kikkoman takes 100 years to make. Yeah, that's marketing. But it takes longer than what we've got. We're a little bit impatient. But everything else we make ourselves. So you won't find, if you like Worcester sauce on your eggs in the morning, which I do, you won't find it here. That type of thing. Tomato sauce, all gold. Yeah, it's a good product. We respect it, but you won't find it here. We'll make our own Napoli sauce and things like that. That's what we're all about. So it's all ingredients that are pure, ethically farmed. Just to give you a couple of specs, things like butter. We go through about, where did I put it here? About 40 to 50 blocks of butter a week, and about 12 liters of fresh cream in this organization. It costs me, look at my notes, 3,000 Rand per week. I can quarter that by using margarine and cream substitutes.
No.
But you will know the difference.
No, yeah.
No. So
People don't know.
No, exactly. I'm glad that you got to know. So in your own restaurants, please do the same thing. You guys make such beautiful beer. You put so much heart and soul into it. Make sure that the kitchen is doing the same thing. So we make everything here: cheeses, all the charcuterie, smoked meats, cured cuts, bacon, it's all preserved and made here. Ice creams, tofu, and yeah, my list goes on and on and on, but my time's going to run out. Okay. So stay away from substitutes. I was asked by Megan that we've got to touch on food because we're all about food here. Something that I think you need to think about is when you're structuring a menu in your own environment. Brewers that have got tap rooms with restaurants attached.
Yep.
Think about this. How many beers do you have? 3, 4, 5, maybe? 6 with a seasonal. How many menu items do you have? Please don't look at our menu because we're a school, we're a little bit different. We've got like hundreds. You should have maybe 6. What you do, you must make sure that you do it bloody well. Not, when I bought the place, I was confused because there were 18 beers here and I didn't know what it was. So we thinned it down and we've got it down to 5 beers and we've got our seasonal that we change as well. And I think that's the secret. Apply the same logic in your own restaurant as well. But what you do, make sure that it's good. As I said, I'm making an excuse for ourselves. We are a school. We have to teach our students all aspects of cuisine. So our menu is quite extensive, but that's because it follows syllabus. That there is a restaurant, and everybody thinks that, yeah, you make lots of money out of restaurants, but like, that is our practical training establishment for our own students. They run it, and they have to practice everything that they're doing within their own syllabus. That's why it's so wide. You know, there's a wonderful array of pizzas. I know that's part of your menu here, but there's a lot of other things, and it varies throughout the year. It follows what they do. In your restaurants, it's going to be just a little bit different. Okay. So, I want to tell you a story. Where am I? Yeah, I think I've covered everything. The last one, identifying and maximizing opportunities. I want to touch on something here that you guys may have thought of, or maybe you've actually missed it. So let's see if I can get technology to work here. Hey, where's my mouse?
All over.
It's on the other screen.
Okay, I got it back. Bloody rat. Okay, and Heineken got it all wrong. Talk about political incorrectness. Megan has addressed me on this before, quite severely. I felt quite shat on. We had a lady steak on the menu.
A lady steak.
A lady steak. It came from a girl cow. She didn't know that.
Don't say that.
A girl cow.
And a lady's beer portion. Yeah, that was wrong, Megan. No, that's completely wrong.
Oh.
But
Sissy.
don't abuse me. I'm just making a picture. So Megan put me under pressure to talk about all these things, and I was sitting at home and I wrote out my speech. As you can see, I wrote it all out, but I'm not sticking to it. And I sat down with a beer afterwards. I thought, I've done a good job. I put on the TV, and I normally don't pay attention to TV. And an ad came on, and I looked at it and I said, wow, it's like, I don't know how these things happen, where you focus down a line on a topic, and an ad comes up. And I'm just going to run it through here. Let's see if it actually works. Hold on a second.
Heineken.
It is Heineken.
If we can get it to work.
Oh, was that this ad? Okay, I haven't seen it.
This one, it's a brilliant ad.
Maybe just act it out. Act it
Oh,
out.
okay, act
Sounds like.
Sounds like Heineken.
Syllables.
Two syllables.
Are you get a match? Get a match.
Spacebar. Spacebar again.
Yeah, it's embedded in there.
Just play.
Bruce play.
It'll play on a MacBook.
No, it won't. No, it won't. MacBook will crash.
Are you waiting?
This is a brilliant. What Commander is thinking is very expanding that market.
Barry, my husband's not here.
Reboot it.
Microsoft
It's
control
on the wrong screen. F5.
control all the
Sorry, bear with us. Hold my beer.
Alright, that's your job.
What happened? What happened? How did you get here?
Oh, that's why.
That's why.
Security
You
alert!
must pay your license fee.
Yeah.
Pay your license.
Enable
Okay,
content.
so at least it was only 2 slides into my 132 slide presentation.
Get a Mac.
Where's that mouse?
Trevor, find your mouse.
That's exactly what I was
No wonder why you're not in corporate.
Okay.
Find your mouse.
You wouldn't do well with the shareholders.
Wees mij je Macy.
Nice by your mice and spice your nuts.
There we go.
There we go.
Girls drinking beer.
Great.
Excellent.
Megan, is that okay? Okay, so guys, I know you've all had this happening in your chat room, especially with COVID. It's quiet, the weather's not that great, you're sitting there at your tap, you've got no customers, you see this Ford Ranger drive in, double cab, it's got 4 dudes in it. This is looking exciting. You start polishing your glasses, they get out, they're buff oaks, they come walking into your pub. You're sweating, the taps are sweating. The first guy walks up and he says, I'll have a vodka lime and lemonade, he'll have a Shirley Temple and a rum and coke, and the driver's going to have a water. Your heart sinks, and there goes all of the money that you hoped to make, and you hope that you didn't have to really falsify your excise declaration again. And they get up and they leave. Now, remember that you have customers arriving, they've got a wallet in their pocket, they've got it open, and they're offering it to you, and it's up to you to go and help yourself. It's not stealing. You have to give the customer what the customer wants.
True story.
So, I was thinking about it, and sorry, we're guilty of this. We've got gin and tonic on tap, and with all due respect to you guys that make gin and do a great job of it and put your heart and soul into it, I have complete respect. I'm going to share a little secret with you. I'm sure you guys all know it. Pick and Pay tonic water, old buck, in a keg. Sorry guys, but the public love it and we make money on it.
Yep. Kingsley's.
King. So you're all in business to make money. You're all in business because you've got a passion. Craft beer is a passion, and I respect what you said there as well. You must follow your passion, but at the end of the day, if your passion's not paying the bills, find ways to pay the bills.
Yep.
You have to. So just a little thing, and I'm going to now hand over the reins to Chef Jade, and I'm going to get demoted to commie chef.
See, chef.
I'm going to be, commie chef.
See.
Sue. Yeah, she's going to sue me.
You too.
It's all about, let's go to the next slide here. Maximizing opportunities and selling beer to non-beer drinkers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that a mic drop moment?
That's
Maybe I'm not going to drop it.
That's difficult.
It is difficult, but we thought about it and we came up with beer cocktails. Something that you can play with, and we've got a couple of concepts. Chef Jade has done a lovely job of doing research. I spoke of research earlier, and she's come up with 6 cocktails that she's researched. There's a little bit of a story with it. Stories are always good when you're selling something.
Absolutely.
And I invite you to sit back, and you guys are going to also sample some. So we might be a little bit legless by the time it comes to lunchtime.
Chef Jade. Woohoo! Yeah!
Good afternoon, everybody. This is quite a daunting task for me because I'm normally in a mode where I teach students that don't know much about food, and now I'm teaching a room full of people that know a lot more than me about beer.
Just imagine what it doesn't matter.
Don't do that.
You don't have to imagine him.
Can I choose select? So we have this discussion all the time, and like Trevor was saying, as a purist, you don't want to take a beautiful product. It's like people that put ice in their wine. You're going, what are you doing? You know, these experts have spent so much time perfecting this amazing product just to water it down or to change it. But there really is, there's a big market, and I mean specifically in cocktails. So as tap rooms, why not utilize your beautiful beers and be able to sell it to non-beer drinkers, because you would be able to capture a whole new market. Just touching on what Mr. T said about tap rooms and...
Sorry, please explain, Mr. T.
Trevor.
Mr. T bought the chef school, and as he said, I've been here for many years, probably too many, but I can't find the guts to leave. I love it a little bit too much. So Trevor bought the school, and being a chef, I'm always used to calling my superiors chef, even though I'm a chef myself. It's just a respect thing. So I felt very, very awkward calling Trevor. So
Nice,
I don't know
Mr.
exactly
T.
where it started or how it came about, but it just landed.
My dark complexion, the gold chain, the button.
He's Mr. T.
So Mr. T became Mr. T.
Mr. T.
So, yeah, talking about tap rooms and creating beautiful drinks or food out of passion, I get that a lot of brewers would be horrified to blend their beers. But just like food, if you take a beautiful ingredient, you're not ruining it by building flavor layers onto it. It's not to say that it's incorrect. So, yeah, beer cocktails, as Mr. T said earlier, with tap rooms, we've got all natural products, even with our Old Buck and our Checkers tonic water. We get the students to make beautiful flavored syrups, which are all from fresh, natural ingredients, and I think that's probably why our customers love our gins a little bit more than usual. And also, you were having a laugh about the Ford Ranger. We literally have a car full of men driving in here regularly, and they will order our gins, and I have a big giggle about it because it's like this beautiful gin glass with this pink
drink.
syrup and
Nothing
flowers
wrong.
in it, and all the rest of it. And they love it. So why not sell things that your customers want? Okay, so onto our cocktails. We've got a couple of cocktails to get through, so I don't want to talk too much. I think Mr. T spoke enough, and I don't really like talking. I like rather showing and teaching through practically showing. So we're going to start off with the first cocktail. It's called a boiler room. It's quite an interesting cocktail. It came about in 1890 And it was about the miners. They used to, after their shift, they would go into the various pubs and they would order a beer and a shot. And that's really how this boiler room beer came about. So it has a shot of bourbon in it. And then various other components. It's really changed over the years, and I won't go too far into the history. Yeah, we just need a block of ice in each one. I won't go too far into the history of the boiler room, but it has some really beautiful flavors in it. And along with, the growing trends of food and drink, one of the most sort of prominent trends in recent years has actually been a floral flavor. So as chefs we use these beautiful edible flowers in our pastries and our cakes, but it's actually a massive, massive international trend to not only use it for aesthetics, but also as a flavor component. So what Mr. T has got going on in our little tasting glasses while start mixing the drink.
It's a block of ice.
It's a block of ice, yes. Just a plain block of ice. There is a little edible flower in the glass as well, and that's just for aesthetics. It does add a bit of an aroma into it as well. We grow all of our flowers ourselves, and the students like to raise and pillage our poor flowers when we sell them. We actually have some at the moment. While that's going on, I'm going to start making this boiler room. So cocktails are actually really interesting. 10,000 years ago, alcohol was introduced to us as students through various... and they really have dated back, which is actually quite an interesting read. They've dated back cocktails to the slave women that used to, in the Greek days, used to feed the Greek gods grapes, and they used to bring them these wonderful mixtures of like beer and wine and mead all mixed together. And that's really essentially where cocktails started off. And over the years, as everything, it grows and changes and becomes more and more refined. So I'm going to start off. Chloe, can you please give me 2 jugs of steam? I need about 600 mils of each jug. So we're going to use our wonderful steam here on tap. I'm just going to grab it from the glass. And then into this boiler room, we've got a wonderful ginger syrup. So it adds quite a bit of sweetness. And personally, I'm not a sweet, I like bitter and I love sour. I'm not a huge fan of sweet drinks. But I think it complements it quite well because we've got quite a lot of lemon going into it, obviously bourbon. So into here we've got some ginger syrup, which we just freshly made. You could do it in a very similar way to, if you wanted to do vanilla syrup. It's just plain white granulated sugar, your flavouring, and then it needs an amount of time to cook, cool, and infuse.
Chef Jade, asking for a friend. Can you buy the Woolworths?
No.
No! Hell no!
So we've got some ginger syrup. This is actually just marigold tea. So there's marigold flowers that are beautiful and you grow in your herb gardens, people bags out. And I'm just mixing as we go. There are like strict sort of parameters as quantities.
Typical chef.
I know, we horrible creatures.
Teaspoons.
Actually, yeah,
You're pastry chefs that like to stick to all the rules and then be out
Just add something else.
I like to have a little bit of fun. So we have ginger, honey syrup, marigold tea, and this be generous, we don't want to be a drink. We've got some freshly squeezed lemon juice. So as we said earlier, we only use fresh and
Lemon juice.
Now the
Woolies lemon juice you can use.
Woolies supply the lemons. We squeeze them as well.
okay, so some lemon juice, and then we're going to put our bourbon into here. And then we're going to pour that into our steam here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hand out the jugs, or Mr. T will hand out the jugs. And then please...
Is that enough?
Just...
It's bourbon!
I don't think it's not enough.
Do you want to walk? But by the time we finish.
No.
Well, the rolling is okay.
Please could you bring me along to this? And I'm also going to add a little bit of rooibos tea into here, just to add another level of flavor. And with your rooibos, it also has the wonderful herbaceous. And if you think about it, I mean, your hops also, they're all plant-based flavors, herby, aromatic. Okay, and then we're going to pour this into our. So just to recap, we've got honey syrup, ginger syrup, marigold tea, we have lemon juice, ginger, bourbon, and some rooibos. So we're going to pour that into our beer. And then make sure the bourbon's mixed through nicely.
That's Jim Beam.
Somebody doesn't land up with a glass.
Chippy, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm just asking. I don't see that.
Yes, Jim.
Jason, I'll tell you my story about Chippy.
I bought it because it came with a free glass.
Oh, nice. I have thousands of free glasses. So that's very. Yeah, mine. These glasses are bad. Don't get thrown away. They got broken by children. Yeah. Children is good for
That's what
In true chef form, you have to taste your product before you give it to anybody else. Okay, so this is our boiler room.
So guys, I think it's going to be easier to pass the jug and you guys just put your own.
No, hang on. We're going to get nothing.
Oh, God.
Can you start with the...
Bring one to the back. One to the back.
Okay, we need more jugs.
Obviously.
Oh, sorry. Hobby.
Jade, slowly.
Shush your face.
We're going to make sure none of you at the back get anything.
Don't worry. Bring it straight.
Okay, so as I explained, it is quite a sweet drink. It's complemented well with the ginger. It's quite a fresh, sweet cocktail. So that would appeal to somebody that enjoys, has a bit of a sweet tooth. You can also, with all of these cocktails, you can change the flavor profile as you like. You can add more beer to that. You can put more lemon juice into it to make it more tart. So it's a little less on the sweet side.
Guys, the question is, will a non-beer drinker be able to drink this?
Yeah. It doesn't taste like beer.
It doesn't taste like beer, but your beer is going in there.
Oh, it's going to hurt us. Now.
The second part of today is going to be
Mr. Nick and Mr. Andrew, you've hurt us now.
So guys, if I can just get your attention,
Well, I've got a big
martini
injury.
glasses that are going around now have got salt on the rim. We're going to be doing 2 drinks in that salt rimmed glass. So from the one,
Eat half the salt.
eat half the salt because salt's expensive. Medieval times, you had to actually ask the emperor if you could get salt.
Weren't you just looted recently?
Sorry?
You weren't looted recently?
Yeah, we've been looted, yeah. They start our fours off our IBU chart. So half of the salt is for the first cocktail and the other half is for the next cocktail.
I know you want to win the back to the kitchen with that. You're going to have a big jacket.
It's not my law.
Okay, so the team one now, just moving up to, it's called a bodega dog. So quite an interesting name. It came about from the famous hotel in London, the Savoy. They used to serve what they called a greyhound, which was a very English thing, gin and grapefruit. And then over the years it sort of changed, and they decided, you know, because it was so fashionable to drink it, some people really battled to stomach that gin and grapefruit. Mr. T, can I ask you to open these boxes? So the greyhound then changed to become the salty dog, and the salty dog was essentially the same drink, just with a rim of salt on it, which made it a little bit more palatable. If you think of like the whole tequila, lemon, salt concept, that's really what they were thinking about. So then they sort of took that as a basic, and they added wheat beer into it, which then became the bodega dog. So in these jugs, I've just got some gin. We are going in with some fresh grapefruit juice. And then we are just going to add our wheat beer to that.
I can drink that. Then I will put a pipe down my neck. Pour your glasses into a jug and I'll do it.
Do we need a salt room in a jug?
Yeah, you can. We'll just give me a salt shaker and I'll do the salt. What are the portions there, Chef?
Are you going to get so we've got about 600 rolls, approximately about maybe, I would say 250 mils of gin to 500, or maybe a little more, 600 grapefruit, and then 3 bottles of beer, so it's almost a litre.
It's about a litre.
Yeah.
So 250, 601.
I'm quite, no, but you're right, I'm quite impressed that a chef doesn't work on measurements.
So with this sort of thing, it's quite open to interpretation, because once again, you have to give the public what they want. And I feel that cocktails nowadays, like the previous one, are quite sweet.
That it's not.
This will be completely different.
No, I'm into that.
But yeah, this is probably a little more along my
Boom, boom, shake that. Boom.
We're going to start with the naughty guys at the back.
Why? Why, Trevor? Why?
You'll get your
Naughty.
you'll get your turn.
Which we feel you.
There's only one that I could find in the
That, who would have thought that? Wheat beer, gin, and grapefruit. Look, I know gin and grapefruit works. I know gin and grapefruit works on the whole.
Trevor, you got to
I don't know how was a kid.
We'll just keep this one.
Oh, it's a game talk.
We don't know. Wait.
If nobody likes this, you can pass it along.
Hey, I'm gonna sit down and I hope it's nice and warm and so
Read the black border, madam.
Is everybody happy? Yes, I'm coming. More. Not more. Come down. Where's your, I took your cousin.
That's yours. I really enjoy it. 250 gins, 600 grapes. I like seeing the bourbon green. I wonder whether you can make some nice bourbon. Crushed ice.